I used to stay up all night trying to find my place, chasing neon lights and looking for some kind of trace.
Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my weekly check-in that is a few days late. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I've had a lot of new subscribers. I have been kind of traveling and doing some things, so my filming schedule is definitely thrown off a bit, but I promise I will get back to regular schedule. It's going to take a couple months to do so. But I will be filming and coming on here and sharing the budget as I go along. And because I am traveling, I was trying to decide whether to keep the money I spent separate or just include it in the budget and go over intentionally, because I know I have enough in the buffer of the checking account to cover the expenses that are happening. So that is option 2 is the option I chose. And if I sound hoarse, I do apologize. I promise I will cut out any coughing or anything like that, but I'm going to sound a little hoarse. The traveling has run me down mentally, emotionally, physically, all the things. So hopefully I can bounce back. But at almost 50, I'm having trouble doing that now. I can't travel like I used to. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to dive into the weekly check-in. Okay, I am back. So I have my calendar here. This is where I track my daily spending. I use stickers. You don't have to do this. You can just simply write it directly on the calendar, but this is a hobby of mine I enjoy doing, and that's why I do this. So last time I was here, I actually had a no spend here, but I took it off and moved it here because we did end up spending that night, and we're going to start here for our weekly check-in. I am going to end it here on the 17th. Because I think I can do another one at the end of the month, and it'll be kind of close in the same time period and close out the month well. So let's go ahead and dive into this. The 18th through the 30th will be the closeout video. Normally I would do one on the 24th and then on the 30th. Not sure how this is going to work out. So I don't want to make any promises, but if I can do one on the 24th, I will. I will probably not film like I traditionally do because I will not be home again. I have to travel back and I have to take care of some things. So I'm not going to give too much information what's going on, but a lot of things are happening and I have to be there out of state to take care of them, which I'm excited about but a little overwhelmed and run down from. And that's okay. So we're going to start here with the 10th through the 17th, and that's where we're going to end our weekly check-in for today. You're going to see what I've already done the 18th through the 21st. I know I'm getting groceries today, so there'll be more transactions. That'll just be a later video. We'll see what happens. So I have my notes here. Did I really? No. Okay. Okay. So pink is grocery household. That's what GH stands for me. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. So it's $57.76 for groceries. My husband stopped at the store while I was out of town because obviously I flew on the 11th. I did get to see, if you know, I did get to see a little baby. My friend had her baby on the 11th before midnight that day. She went in the hospital that morning, and I was so glad when I got there. I got to see him and hold him. I put a picture in my community tab if you want to check that out for April 11th, 2024. I probably posted it somewhere after that date, but that's when he was born. 21 inches long, 8.5 pounds, full of dark hair, just a beautiful, beautiful baby, and so excited for my friend and her first son. She has 2 daughters, but now she has her first son, so we're excited about that. Okay, so now I have Food Lion. Food Lion is some stuff I purchased for myself at my parents' place. I don't have a Food Lion near me, but my parents have one near them, so I just went to the store, picked up some items, and bought those. That was $46.83. Things I didn't want to fly with, like shampoo bottles and stuff, because I realized after I flew out there that I was going to need to come back again and drive back and see and be with them and take care of some things. So I went ahead and bought some supplies for the house so I would have those. And then my husband went to Meyer Grocery. That was $33.63. And then there was a purchase. Oh, no, this is a subscription. So I have Amazon subscribe and save on some things. And this was $32.74 for those liquid IV powders. My husband uses them. I use them. We're happy with them. And they have helped quite a bit. So I really do like that. Oops, too much light on there. So let's go ahead and total this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that was $161.96. All right, grocery household. Next I have is a lot of restaurants. So some of it is because I was gone, and there are certain nights my sons, if you know and been on my channel a long time, you know I have 2 adult sons. They both have autism, and they rotate ground beef and chicken nights, and then 1 pizza night every week. So usually the ground beef is like a pasta ground beef night, so it's either spaghetti or lasagna or something like that. And then on the opposite nights they have chicken, and I was not home to bread and cook the chicken, and my husband came home late in the evening, so he couldn't do it. And so he would pick up Chick-fil-A or McDonald's on the way home to get their chicken nights. And that was totally fine. So we had that happening just because we had to figure it out. Now, my husband has decided today that I'm going to show him how I make this breaded chicken for the kids, or for my adult sons. They don't cook. I'm still teaching them. They're still learning how to deal with hot pans and stuff like that, but they're very nervous, so I'm not pushing it too hard so it's not a terrible experience. And I'm busy right now, and I could have taught them sooner, but I just haven't. And so hopefully this summer they'll know how to cook their own meals, and that is a goal for this summer. It just never occurred to me to really push that on them, and I think I really should. So hopefully we will get that in gear. So there was a lot of restaurants, and we'll see what we'll see what it is. So the first one I have is Dunkin' here, which is here at the bottom for some reason, I think. No, it's right here. Okay, let's start with, I have written these out of order. Okay, start with Dunkin', which is the $12.30. I got breakfast. I got a bottle of water inside the airport, so it was inflated price. But I needed something before I got on my flight, because I knew my next flight I probably wouldn't be able to get a meal. So I got that. I got necessities that Dunkin' just happened to have. And then I had a few hours at the airport. Then I went to Cervezas, which is in the airport, and I left a $5 tip it's a Mexican type of restaurant bar thing right outside the gate. So I got that dinner. Ate one more time before I got on the flight to make sure that I had plenty of food on my stomach, and I wasn't going to have to worry about when I got to my next flight destination what was going on. Now this $38.04, my husband picked up Chick-fil-A for him and the boys. And then Friday night, pizza night, my husband got wings, pizzas, cheese sticks, all the things, $58.72 plus a tip for the driver. Surprisingly, I don't have a sticker here. Gotta have my no spin sticker. Oh my goodness, here we go. And I'll put that right there. So the last thing I checked was Papa John's here. That was my sons and my husband getting pizza that night. And then he got basically what we normally get as a family, except for I wasn't here to eat pizza with them. So what he did is he took my leftovers and the leftovers that we usually have, put them in the fridge, and had those for lunches over the next couple of days. So instead of getting a smaller size or anything like that, he just spread out the lunch, basically. So now we have over here on Sunday, since Chick-fil-A's closed on Sundays, they went to McDonald's. I did not check these off, did I? Did not. Okay. So there was $32.09. Am I missing something here? What is this? Oh my gosh, I feel so dumb. Okay. So this is Papa John's down here. And you're probably yelling at me. I meant to start here. This is Casa Fiesta. So when I did the closeout on the last weekly check-in, I wasn't planning to go out to dinner, but since I was going to be gone over the weekend, my husband wanted to go out to dinner, and I thought, oh, that's sweet. We should definitely do that. So that was $58.72. So yeah, that definitely threw me off a bit. So that was the first one. Then the Dunkin', and then the Cerveza, and then Chick-fil-A, and then Papa John's, and now McDonald's. And now my husband picked up Burger King because he didn't want to do chicken again. And then he got Chick-fil-A for the boys. So my husband did these two, which I don't really care. It's fine. And then I went here, the 17th, $13.60, Chick-fil-A, $13.60. I'm trying to think. Okay. So, yes. Okay, so this Chick-fil-A, $13.60. I had flown in to North Carolina. That's where my parents live. Stayed with my parents 2 nights. Drove up early Sunday morning and got there in time for the church we used to go to, and went to visit the church. And there's a clip in my community tab, it's a 1-minute clip, I think, where my pastor is in the middle of his sermon, and I didn't get there in time to see everybody before church started, but I got there right before, while they were singing, right before the preacher started preaching. And Pastor Dan was on stage, and I was kind of close up front with some of my old friends and stuff, and they were excited to see me. And in the middle of the sermon, he recognized I was sitting there, and he goes, "Oh, hey, Lisa," and then went back to preaching. So if you want to see that clip, it's really cute. I enjoyed it. It's a great sermon if you want, on the book of John, part of the book of John. And so, yeah, go check that out. It was just a really sweet moment that you were recognized and everything. And the reason he recognized me so well is he was at my house every Tuesday for 3 years for a home group or small group, whatever you call it. And it was just sweet to be seen and noticed, and I really like that. So anyways, that's the $13.60. Oh, after that, I went to church. I'm not even done with my story yet. I went to my friend, her house, who had the baby, and I stayed with her for the 14th, 15th, and 16th, and I drove back to North Carolina on the morning of the 17th. The reason I did what I did is because on the 18th, my parents and I got in the car, and I drove again from Raleigh, North Carolina to Kentucky. So from Raleigh, North Carolina to Chesapeake, Virginia is a 3-hour drive, but so this day was a 3-hour drive. And this day, and I had my dad's car, I borrowed my dad's car when I drove all this. But on this day, we drove from Raleigh, North Carolina to Kentucky, and that was like a 9-hour drive with a 1-hour stop kind of thing. So that's what happened. That was everything. So anyway, I am going to total all of this up, and I will be right back. Okay. So all the eating out totaled $261.18. So I know this category we're going to go over budget because of all the travel and stopping to get something to eat and stuff like that. We're taking it out of the buffer of the checking account. That is fine. We have enough room in there to do that. So that's what we're doing. And other than that, I'm not really spending any money. So in addition to what we normally budget, and I'm trying to make sure I have lots of groceries. So other than the chicken dinner, really nobody needs to go out to eat unless it was just one of those weird days. So we should be good. Okay, I know we're going to be over. I know we're already over by a few dollars, but we shouldn't go more than 100 over for the month. Maybe we will. I don't know. We still got a couple weeks left. For me, I'm recording this on the 22nd. I normally would have recorded this on the 18th, but yeah, with all the things, it's just not working out. All right, so the next thing I have is the miscellaneous category. So I don't fly often, so I have to pay for luggage, and that was $40 to, have them put your luggage on the plane. Let's see, Amazon. What did I get here? Oh, I wanted some short sleeve shirts because on the coast it's 20 degrees warmer than where I'm at right now, and we're going through a cold snap. So yeah, there's that. So I wanted a short sleeve shirt when I left. This one, I got 2 of my short sleeve shirts of the 3 on Amazon that I ordered. This one came afterwards, and now I get to take it with me, so it's not a big deal. It just got charged later than the rest. And then tire discounts. So my husband, when he dropped me off at the airport, picked up a nail, screw, something. We are worst. We get at least once a year. We get something stuck in our tires, and then we got to patch them or we have to plug them. And this was a patch for $41.72. We didn't know where else to go, but he wanted to get it done before I got back in town so I can drive my vehicle. So there's that. So it was a miscellaneous item. I don't really have a maintenance category for my vehicle, but that's okay. I budget enough in miscellaneous to cover those kind of costs. So let's total this up. There we go. It was $102.91. Again, I'm so sorry for my voice. I wish it sounded better. Not that I have the greatest voice, but I'm just saying. And then gas, I added $20. I normally wouldn't do this. The gas station I went to, you have to pay inside regardless of, like, it wouldn't read my chip on my card at the pump. So regardless, I think they make you come inside anyway. And they're like, how much do you want? I'm like, I don't know how much I need. It's not a familiar vehicle to me. And I had a half tank, and I thought, well, half a tank gets me all the way to where I'm going. So if I can get it close to full, that's fine. So I just put $20 in my dad's tank, and his tank's smaller than mine, so that wasn't that big of a deal. So I just put $20 of gas and paid for that. No copays, no unbudgeted, and only one bill. So one bill that got charged to a credit card. It did go up. Where's it at? I gotta find it. Oh, AT&T. It's normally $282.61, and let's see the difference. $285.49 plus or minus $282.61. So I'm assuming this is some kind of fee. I'm going to have to look for $2.88. They're always changing fees. There's always some bill or something being passed that's being paid for by our local whatever, and I'm just gonna have to check it out. We do have 2 $30 payments, so $60 worth of phone payments on here, as well as all the services and the fees. So yeah, it's crazy. I only have one bill outstanding, but it does not affect the credit card at all. I'm no longer doing Amazon Digital, so I'm just waiting for Vivint to come out in my checking account, and I'll be good to go there. So let's get to here. Okay, so I'm done checking everything off. Again, next time I do either another weekly check-in or a closeout or the closeout video for the month, I will start here on the 18th. I haven't decided how that's going to work yet, and it depends on how busy I am, where I'm going. So things I have to take care of. So here we go. Let's go to the weekly check-in. I'm going to go ahead. Now, when I set up week 4, I have my week 4 amounts here on what I'm going to add to what's left over from week 3. So $320 for grocery household, $100 for restaurants, $80 for miscellaneous, $40 for gas, and $20 for copay. Now, I'm not worried about gas so much because my husband drives a state vehicle. He works for the state, and that vehicle, the gas is paid for by the state, and he has his own card for that. So he doesn't normally drive his own vehicle, though he will be on weekends and stuff. He'll drive his own vehicle while I'm gone. So there's that. Okay, so here we go. Spent $161.96 for grocery household. Spent $261.18 for restaurants. Spent $102.91 in miscellaneous. Okay, and then spent $20 in gas. And then no copay and no unbudgeted, which is really, really good. The unbudgeted comes directly out of the buffer, the checking account. Whatever's sitting in there, or your rollover, whatever you want to call that, that doesn't come out of the budgeted part. So that's why I have it there, so I can stay on top of that. And what this is for me is to pay back the credit card. So all of our spending goes on the credit card and some of our bills, which is why I wrote bills here and only had one item. And I have that written here. I'll get to that in a second and tell you how much we had to pay back the credit card. But right now I'm just setting up the week 3 and doing the weekly check-in. So let me move this to the side, grab my calculator. And I hope you don't mind, but I have a cough drop in my mouth, so if it sounds funny, again, I am so sorry. I just really wanted to do this and get this done so you can see what's going on. So now let's begin. Okay, I have $490.06 that I had planned for the week. If I was here, I probably would have been cooking more meals and those kind of things, and I was not, so this is kind of helping out with the buffer of the checking account, that I'm not spending all the groceries, but we're going to be spending a lot more in restaurants. So this might cover a lot of the overages too at the end of the month when everything's done. Because whatever's left over in these categories at the end of the month, if I do not spend it all, it just goes to the buffer checking account, and that's considered our savings. So I don't really talk about that much, but that's how it kind of works for us. So $161.96, and that still left $328.10. Now that I'm back, though, I've made a couple grocery runs about $200. So one was over $200, one was just under $200. So a lot of this I'm restocking. So while I'm gone, my family has everything they need. All right, and now I only had $184.64 in restaurants, so minus the $261.18, and that's going to give me, I'll get a red pen here, a negative $76.54. All right, miscellaneous, I'm definitely over here, $71.84. I'm just over for the week, not for the entire month. All the money for the cash for these spending categories is basically in the checking account at the beginning of the month. So the cash is there. I just try to break it down and stay within budget, or think through my budget and go, okay, where's the money coming from? Can I be a little bit over here and a little bit under here to take care of the needs of the family? So that's what I do. 102.91, I subtracted, that. And that gives me a negative 31.07 for the week. Now I didn't spend that much in gas, so 61.05 minus 20. I would do math in my head, it's just my head is not in the game yet. All right, 41.05. And then I have $60 in copay and still have $0 in unbudgeted. I'm going to put check marks here. What I do with notes here is to check off that I've actually already paid this out of the checking account and moved the money to the credit card and closed the account. And not closed the account, paid off the account, paid off the credit card. I pay my credit card, my husband's credit card. We have a joint credit card account. I pay that account off every Thursday. I bring it back to $0, and I can show you because it's not in this notebook. Because I was traveling, I didn't want to carry this everywhere, so I just got my 5x7, sorry about the glare, Erin Condren, and it had all my weekly plans in here, as well as, and I use a lot of stickers, as well as I created like a transaction log back here, and as you can see, I went back to $0 right there when I made this payment for that week. And that's why I'm kind of doing the weekly check-in then. So I am tracking all this, and I think I even posted a picture in the community tab. I don't know if I'm going to do a 5th week. Depends. Yeah, it goes to the 17th. So this number should match. All right, so now we need to get to set up the weekly check-in or the weekly budget for week 4, where we're at right now. So I have $320 I said I wanted for this week that I've already set aside money in my checking account. It's earmarked in the checking account for this week. And I have $328.10. Again, I've already made a couple large purchases, so this is going to drop during this week. And getting my family prepared for me to leave again. Let's see. And that gives me, $600 for the new budget. $648.10. That way I can make sure there's enough money in groceries. We're good to go there. Now I'm negative here, so I gave myself $100 in restaurants. We'll subtract the $76.54. There we go. That leaves $23.46. All right. Now I have another negative, and miscellaneous. I was giving myself $80 minus the $31.07. It was like I borrowed from the next week because the money. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Where am I at? $80 minus the $31.07. There we go. All the money is sitting in the checking account. Here, I'm just being accountable to myself and making sure I'm paying the credit card and making sure I have no interest charges, because there's no reason to have a credit card at all if you're going to pay interest. It's just, especially a rewards card, it's not logical. If you don't have the cash in your checking account, don't use a credit card. If you are paying minimum payments only, you don't need a credit card. You need to pay it off and get rid of it until you rediscipline yourself or create a system with accountability that keeps it paid off every time. So that's just kind of my thing that's important to me, and I pray it's important to you. Did I do the right numbers? Yeah. Okay, so the next number I have is $41.07 in gas plus $40, which is good because I had to get gas this week when I got back. That's $81.07. All right, and then copay was $60, and I'm adding $20. That's $80. I can do that math. $80 in copay, and then $0 for unbudgeted because I do not budget anything for unbudgeted. So that is the weekly check-in. This is what I'm starting week 4 with. Yeah, I'm going to figure out how to budget and show you guys. I might have to just do a walkthrough, like not sit down. I won't have this mat. I won't have my lights. I won't have anything with me, but I'll just do a short video and show you guys, okay, this was what we spent, or this is what we're spending here. Here's my notes on that, just like this. I'll have all this filled out, and then get the totals and move it over here with you guys, and then you'll see the rest of the month. So because I'm going to be gone until after May, I do have to be back by May 7th, I think, or so, after the first week of May, for some appointments and stuff, so I can't stay too long. I might be back sooner if I can get what I need to get done sooner. I don't know. So we are going to have to wait and see. Okay, so now I need to figure out the bills. So we're going to total up and find out the total for the credit card, because I know I paid it before I got on here, but I want to share with you what that total was and that I did pay this amount on the credit card. So we had grocery household $161.96, and then $261.18 for restaurants, and then $102.91 for miscellaneous, and then $20 for copay, and then the $285.49 for AT&T. And I paid back the credit card $831.54. Brought it back to $0, and then started the next week's charges. Basically, for me, a credit card is a holding pattern, and once a week I pay whatever we spent on it off. This is how I stay in control. This is how I get rewards points. I I don't have the credit card for the rewards points. I don't really care about all that. I don't want to play the system. I don't want to learn the rules. I really don't care. But I happen to have one, so I was like, okay, how can I best benefit from it? Instead of paying $285 in interest times 12 months, $3,420 a year, once I had the credit card paid off, then I was like, okay, because I had my $24,000 balance maxed out for years. I mean, if we did this by 15 years, I mean, that's $51,000 over 15 years. I could have saved up a car 15 years later. I mean, I could have done so much more. I could have invested into retirement instead of paying over $200 in interest. But I didn't. And so, yeah, I used to pay $3,420 a month in credit card interest fees. I was never late. I never had a late fee or anything like that. And I tried to pay above the bare minimum. But it wasn't until my husband got out of the Navy and he was getting military pay as well as his salary pay. That's when I got ahead. That's when things started changing, when we had the extra income. And he had a nicer job that had more income than what the Navy was paying. So once I got it paid off, I crept it up again, and that scared me because I liked the feeling of it paid off after I crept it up again. And then because my husband and I had bought a house in Virginia, we were buying furniture, we were buying carpet, we were buying appliances and things like that some of it we really needed. Once that crept up again, I'm like, never again. We'll have to make do. And we've done cash ever since. We use the card as a holding pattern, but if the cash is not coming in through our pay, through the checking account, and I'm not talking about savings or investing, I'm talking about salary, income, cash. If that does not cover what we need, then we don't get it. We don't do it. We don't bother with it. We manage our credit card to pay off every month. And last year we got $1,200 in rewards points and cash that we cashed out. Previous year we had $1,800 in cash reward points instead of paying $3,000 a year in interest fees. Those cash rewards would have just brought it down in half, and still we would have been in the hole and negative. So I really am passionate about, making sure that you're using cash, and if you are using a credit card, you pay that balance off at least every month. But don't get in over your head and use the cash you already have with the stuff you already have. That is how you should do it. And that way you can have a retirement. Paying interest fees, steals from your retirement. It steals from your potential future of taking care of yourself. And if you don't take care of your retirement and take care of yourself, guess what? You're going to have, if you have children or other family members, they're going to have to take care of you. And you're going to force them to do that because they're going to feel guilty that you're not being taken care of. So yeah, that's kind of my little soapbox today. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. That was this last week's weekly check-in. And hopefully I will get to check in with you again soon. And I need to do my a couple more videos, so hopefully I'll get that up to you soon as well. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
Lead me out of darkness, give me a little faith, something to make me stronger, someone who could light the way. Then you came to me and you gave me reason. I almost can't